Now, for your protein, it's going to vary, all right? So I try to hit, if I can, you know, as I said, my protein intake is 1 gram per pound of body weight. That's what I mostly try to go for. If I go over, I go over. I don't really care about going over. But anything past 1 gram per pound of body weight is basically, for most people, pissing out your money if you're going over a gram per pound of body weight. You know, and I mostly eat if I'm in a cut, if I'm in a caloric deficit, I'm trying to hit my protein. I'll mostly, like, literally, I'll mostly eat fish, like canned tuna, lean chicken breast. So I try to hit for each meal, if I'm having chicken, I'll try to hit 100 to 130 grams of lean chicken breast per meal. So that might be anywhere from 2 to 3 meals with chicken breast. Obviously for breakfast, you know, my main protein source is going to be eggs, egg whites. You know, that's the main source for breakfast. As I said, lunch, pre-workout, post-workout is going to be lean chicken breasts or fish. And if you're, depending on how many calories you have, you know, if you have like 3,000, 2,500, 2,800, 3,600, or 4,000 calories, you can obviously, you know, eat fattier cuts of protein, you know, like fattier cuts of beef, fattier cuts of pork, fattier cuts of chicken, turkey. You know, turkey is a really good one for hitting your protein intake when you're on a caloric deficit, or if you're working in a smaller calorie range. So as I said, try to hit 1 gram per pound of body weight, and the literature does say that if you are a healthy individual and a healthy male or female, going up to 1 gram per pound of body weight will not hurt you at all. It states that in the literature, it states that in the studies, and professionals have stated that. So we know it's safe. So for all those people out there, oh my God, you're going to get kidney failure. No, the fuck you won't. Shut up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But no, that's the protein. All right, on to the next part. Alrighty, number 2 is I'm going to do my fats. Now, the studies say that, I believe it's like 0.3 grams of fat per pound of body weight is how much you need to have adequate hormone function, I believe, for males. I'm not exactly sure in the literature for females. I have to get back with you on that. But, so I try to hit 0.3 to, I think it's 0.6 grams per pound of fat per my body weight. So some days I'll have 43 grams, some days I'll literally have 100 grams of fat. It depends, you know, I vary it. So it depends on what I'm eating, depends on what I'm doing. I mostly try to stick within a caloric range when I'm cutting, and then I base my fat from there on how many calories I'm eating a day. So, you know, with the fat, you know, I try to get my fats from my fish, my red meat, you know. Sometimes it'll be from peanut butter, you know. So, you know, peanut butter fat is good for you. Or I'll put in some olive oil or some avocado oil. But I'll use like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil. And that's a really good way to get your fats in, is by adding those in. But if you're in a caloric deficit, then you might want to think about getting some of your good fats from, you know, red cuts of meat, fish, obviously, you know. Peanut butter, I mean, you can do that, but I would rather see someone, you know, get their fat from, you know, like fish or red meat, because especially with fish, because fish has omega-3 fatty acids, which is good for the body, you know. And a lot of people don't eat a lot of fish all the time, and they are, a huge amount of people are deficient in omega-3, just like I think vitamin D and vitamin D3, they're very deficient in. So, you know, if you can, try to get your fats from fish or red meat or peanut butter, you know, as long as they're good, healthy fats, you know. So, as I said, 0.3 to 0.6 grams per pound of body weight for your grams of fat, you know. And then, you know, so you have your protein, you have your fat. Base it like that. So get your protein in order out through your diet, and then get your fat. Alrighty, so for carbs, you know, how I would set it up is I would go for my healthy carbs, you know, like my brown rice, my yams, my sweet potato, my oatmeal, stuff like that. I think grits is an oat. No, grits is made from corn, so technically corn is grass. It's technically considered a vegetable. But for instance, so a good carb source meal would be like oatmeal, you know, sweet potatoes, rice, yams, so on and so forth. You know, for carbs, it's pretty simple. You know, you just pick a carb source and go with it. It's all pretty simple, you know. But I would say, you know, protein is 0.8 to 1 grams per pound of body weight. Your fat, try to hit 0.3 grams per pound of body weight, or whatever works for you. Some people work better off the higher range of fat per pound of body weight or whatever. And then carbs, you know, your healthy ones. And so, give an example, a really good healthy meal is like a whole sweet potato with half a yellow squash cut in half, some lean chicken breast or a beef patty. That'd be a really good meal. Or one better, smoked tilapia or salmon felts with the same thing they said, yellow squash, so like 2 yellow squash, and you know, like a sweet potato. That is a really good healthy meal. There's so many ways you can make that delicious, you know. But you know, as long as you've got those things in order, you got your protein. That's the main priority if you're trying to build muscle. If you're not trying to build muscle, then we don't really care about the whole 1 gram per pound of body weight. If you just want to look good and you don't give a shit about building muscle, and you don't care about maintaining muscle, you just want to look good, then you don't have to follow any of these. You don't have to follow the fat roll. You don't have to follow the carbs. And for carbs, I try to hit anywhere from 150 to 320 grams of carb a day, you know, and that is high. But I also like having a higher source of carbs, because carbs convert to glycogen, and carbs convert to, you know, glycogen is a simple version of sugar, and glycogen is stored in the muscle. And what that does is it's going to allow your muscles to look fuller, it's going to allow them to look harder, it's going to allow you to push harder in the gym, and it's going to give you more oomph when you push. I've noticed when I've only had 150 carbs per day, and even if I have most of my carbs pre and post workout or just pre-workout, I do way better in the gym on a higher carb diet. It's like if I'm getting like 180, 200, 300 carbs a day, and I have that spaced out pretty evenly, or if I have it spaced out where most carbs are pre, most carbs are post, I do hella better in the gym. I sleep better, I recover better. So, you know, carbs is a really good source. You know, carbs is what fuels the muscle, and that's what gets expended when you're performing physical exercises. It's like you're in the bench, you're pushing, you're doing the chest fly, you know, you're doing the flies, you're doing the lat pull down, you know, you're doing that, you know, that's all fueled by what you've eaten. So like your proteins, your carbs, your fats, your calories, you know. And you know, as long as you have that in order, you're doing good. There's days legit where I'll eat 200 grams of protein and I'll match my carbs, 200, and I'll let the fat fall wherever it'll fall. You know, there's times where I've eaten 200 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, and then like 100 grams or 80 grams of fat. And you know, that does pretty good, you know. And don't be a carbophobe, you know. Keep carbs in your diet. Carbs are a necessity, not necessarily, but they're a necessity in my book for pushing hard in the gym, for having good night's sleep, for doing my exercises and feeling amazing. And I've noticed on lower carbs, on a lower carb day or lower carb diet, I don't get as pumped when I'm in the gym, and I don't feel as energized, you know. Actually, like, let's say, because I usually eat my last meal, or my pre-workout meal, at 8, and I go work out at 10:40 to 10:50. I don't get out of the gym until about 12:20 to 12:50 at a.m., you know? And with that higher carbs in there, you know, I'm pushing and pushing, you know? So don't take carbs for granted. Carbs are not gonna fucking get you fat. And yeah, if you cut carbs out, you're gonna have quick water weight loss with some fat loss, you know? And I have a video coming about carbs. And I used to be a personal trainer. I actually was certified through ISAA. In total, I've only had 12 clients my whole life. Shocker. But I want to eventually get back into it. You know, I really enjoy helping people. I really enjoy just giving my opinion and my advice on what I see and learn physically, you know. But I've heard people say, oh, you know, if I cut carbs out, I just keep my calories the same, right? And I'll lose body fat, right? I'm like, no. It's like, you'll lose weight, but you'll still, like, you'll lose water weight, but then you'll plateau and you'll never lose weight because your calories are set at the same damn calories. If you're eating 3,000 calories and all you do is take out almost all your carbs, and you know, you keep your calories at 3,000, take out almost all your carbs, you're gonna fucking look flat, you're gonna be flat, you're not gonna have as much energy, you're not gonna have much push and drive. And a lot of people take carbs for granted, but there's nothing wrong with fucking carbs unless you're diabetic or have a health issue that mitigates you from eating carbs, or that has a bad reaction with you. There's nothing wrong with eating carbs. Eat your carbs, eat your fats, eat your proteins, you know. As long as you're in a caloric deficit, you're gonna lose weight, you know. And as I said, I have videos coming up about carbs, breaking down just specifically my opinion on carbs, proteins, fats, and so on, and salt, and so forth, you know. Yeah, hope you guys enjoy. I've put more thought and more effort into this video. They will get better as I go. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I did a lot better than what I usually do. You know, I kind of cut back on the rambling, but enjoy, like, subscribe, share, and tell me what you guys think. Tell me if you think I'm on the right track. Tell me if you think I'm on the wrong track. I am open for debate. I am open for suggestions, and I am open to new ideas, and I'm open to learning. So give me your information, and I'll give you mine. Have a great day, guys.